Hey mages, welcome back to Total MTG today. I did a recent poll on the community page, just which video would you like to see next, and it was showcasing one of my Commander decks. Now, it's been a while since I've given you the updated version of my pimp deck, my favourite deck. Of course, it is TATYOVA. Now, this is an amazing altar from my friend Fatal Ferret. I will leave a link below. He does some really good altars, and I wanted to pimp out, obviously, TATYOVA. And there isn't many different ways you can get the Commander. You can maybe get a foil one, but there isn't any other alternate arts. But this is amazing, and I was very thankful to get this. And as you can see, it perfectly glitters there. As you can see it catching the light as well. So for those of you who don't know, TATYOVA is a Benthic Druid. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, under your control, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Now, this is exactly what blue mages or simic mages love to do, and I am certainly one of them. And yeah, I thought I'd give you it, show you the deck. It's completely pimped out. I will say, I will leave a link as well. I did do a recent match with this, and it really did show how the deck can go off. So I'll leave a link below there. That's my friend Kitchen Table Games. I recently played on their channel, so I'll leave a link for that in the description as well for you to go and check out after this video. So the first thing we're going to look at in the deck is the lands, of course. It is a Landfall deck with some different win cons based around land as well, and it has some big beaters as well. Now, this is, you know, my deck, my pride and joy that I've completely been working on. It's taken me a long time to build up these cards, you know, with trades or lucky pull packs and stuff like that. But first off, we look at this lovely shiny command tower. I'm probably going to say lovely a lot, and I'm probably going to say shiny a lot because there's a lot of that in this deck. Then we have a Fable Passage, going on to the fetch lands that I cover now. This is obviously one of them. This will search for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, but still very handy to get those basic lands. Terramorphic Expanse. The reason these type of cards are in there because we want to get the double triggers on TATYOVA. So like a fetcher, this will come in, can trigger TATYOVA, sacrifice it, bring a land in, and it will trigger again. Now there we get to some beautiful cards. Now lovely Verdant Catacombs there, and then we have a Prismatic Vista in the deck. I will show my upgrades at the end of going through the cards, just so make sure you stay to the end of the video so you can get to see what I've added in recently. And some of them are lands as well, and there's a nice alternate card as well that my friend Connor again gave to me. We've got the Tarn there, we've got the usual lands that you'll be able to put in there. These fetch lands, some are very expensive, they are, but they just, you know, I've had these in my collection for a while, and they do the job perfectly with TATYOVA to get those double trigger goings, and they obviously can interact with some of the creatures on the board as well. We then have some lands here that will tap for both colours, the blue and the green Yavimar Coast. I've got Hinterland Harbour in there, Rejuvenated Springs as well. Also, some lands that have different effects that can help us. Yavimar Cradle of Growth. Each land is a forest in additions. I pulled this in a pack and I thought it would be very good for the deck. Reliquary Tower, that M19 promo foil there, very important because you draw a lot of cards. Now, when you're drawing a lot of cards, you don't really want to chuck them away, so Reliquary Tower is in there. Mystic Santry, probably one of the best common lands there is an island. Comes in, you can eventually get back potentially an instant or sorcery, and we have a lot of powerful ones in here. Ghost Town can be used as a combo as well. Add colourless mana to your mana pool for 0. You can return Ghost Town to owner's hand. Use this ability only during another player's turn. So, you know, it's helpful to get, you know, if you're running out of lands and you need to draw cards and you've got TATYOVA on the field, or you want to interact with one of your creatures by putting a landfall effect into play, Ghost Town is good to bounce. Dryad Arbor, it can be a 1/1 creature and attack. And then we have a lovely foil Teleria West there, has Transmute for 3. And then one of the win cons in the deck, and it is a land, and it's Field of the Dead. Dirty Dead, I call this. Whenever Field of Land or another land enters the battlefield under your control, if you control 7 or more lands with different names, and that's very easy in this deck, we create 2/2 zombie creature tokens, and this is definitely a win con. People will attack this if they got land destruction in there, but you want ways to bring this back. That does bring in one upgrade that I hope to get. You know, I've got a Double Masters 22 on the way, and I'm hoping to pull Crucible of Worlds. You know, there's a lot of cards in that set that I want, but if not, I'll be buying one because it's a little bit cheaper because it's been reprinted now. So then, what I do in my deck as well, I have a different art for every basic as well. So you'll see different ones here, all nice and foily versions. Some from the recent sets like this that I just thought were absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, I'd have pimped this deck out quite a bit. Some nice forest, just the arts that I like as well. That is just a lovely shiny forest there. These change over various times. If I pull, one that I think is better, then I add it in. I do love that one as well. There's a couple of islands that I've got my eye on that I need to get. But these are very shiny. This is one of my favourite, the Bucky Island. I really do like this. Always been one of my favourite islands, this one. One of the newer additions. Some people like this art, some people don't, but I think it's pretty snazzy myself. More bucket-esque type of art. And from my newer set as well, I do love this one. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Right, so we're going to go on to next. There's a reason I only run 2 artifacts in the deck, and that is Sol Ring, and that is Simic. I have to hold these up so they're better in focus. Sol Ring and Simic Signet, because we do have a creature that I put into the deck that works really good against artifacts, to be honest. And you'll see it in maybe a game if you go and watch that game, like I said. Bit of an oof. But Sol Ring and Simic Signet, we're interested in getting lands on the field. We don't really want, like the artifact type of ramp. But these two are just really good, so they go straight into the deck. So, first of all, what should we look at? Let's have a look at the creatures. So, creatures in the deck. The idea is to play as many lands as you can, and we've got creatures that can help us out with that in the deck, like a Souza Lost But Seeking. Fiend Horn Elves is a little bit of ramp for us. If we can get this down early, it's really good. And as you can see, I've got a nice foil version there. Now, Llanowar Scout is really good. It can be used in a combo in our deck if we have like Retreat to Coral Helm, and you'll see in a minute Simic Growth Chamber as well, because that is one of the upgrade arts that I do have in there. Llanowar Scout. This can be a combo of infinite landfall triggers. It requires Simic Growth Chamber in hand. All other permanents on the battlefield, the Scout. As long as the Scout doesn't have Summoning Sickness as well. So what you have to do is activate Llanowar Scout by tapping it, putting a Simic Growth Chamber from your hand onto the battlefield. Simic Growth Chamber enters the battlefield. It triggers itself and the Retreat to Coral Helm. Resolve the Simic Growth Chamber, return itself from the battlefield to your hand, resolve, retreat, Coral Helm trigger, untapping the Llanowar Scout, and repeat. And that is for infinite landfill triggers. So that is one of the combos that we can get to get infinite landfill triggers, which is just total value. Lotus Cobra, whenever a land enters battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any colour. And I've got the old snazzy art there. We've also got this lovely foil Dryad of Ilson Grove. Play an additional land on your turns. Lands you control at every basic land type in addition to their other types as well. And, it's just a really good creature. Like 2/4 for 3. It's pretty snazzy, and it's helped us get extra lands into play. So we also have Sylvan Safekeeper. Then we're going to talk about a little bit of protection here. This is a great creature. Sacrifice a land. When I get Crucible of Wells in a deck, it will make this just so much better. Target creature you control gains Shroud until end of turn. So a good way of protecting your Planeswalker. Glen Elendra Archmage is a 2/2 flyer, and it does have Persist, so it can come back as long as it has none of those counters. You sack it, counter target non-creature spell. So you've got a nice bit of protection in those 2 creatures. Then we go to some value. Scavenging Ooze in its shiny goodness there. Exile target card can help us attack graveyard themes. Tireless Tracker works very well with Landfall. Ends the battlefield under your control. Investigate, and then every time a land comes in, you get to investigate. You sack the clue and put a 1/1 counter on this, and this can can turn into a really big beater and just helps you go through your deck. Remnant Excavator, play lands from your graveyard. Now, not Crucible, but I'd probably still keep this in, and it still does some work if we get some of our like Field of Dead go to the graveyard or anything like that, or if we just want to get that fetch back to get that double trigger as well. Augur of Autumn is a recent addition, not the newest edition, but I thought this would be nice, looking at the top card of your library anytime, and you get to play land cards as well, which is obviously very good for our deck. Has Coven, as long as you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may cast creature spells from the top of your deck, and we do have a fair amount of creatures in this deck as well. Meloku. Meloku is another combo card that you can do with your Retreat to Coral Helm and Llanowar Scout, and this can make infinite creature tokens or infinite landfall triggers as well. So we do have some combos in here to make infinite land, infinite mana, infinite combo with creature tokens, and obviously landfall triggers as well. Seaborn Muse, Very good card. Always gets killed. Untap all permanents you control. Untapping our lands because we do run counter spells and various instants and tutors at instant speed as well. So Seaborn Muse can be a very, very important card. Now we get to some beaters. Multani Yavim's Avatar. It's a 0/0 reach trample. Gets +1/1 for each land you control in your graveyard. And each land you control. So it can be very big, and the trample is, super good on this. You can pay 2, return 2 lands you control to their owner's hand, and then you return it from the graveyard hand. So it has its own recursion as well by doing some landfall and then playing those lands again. Rampaging Bolovs, making 4/4 green beast tokens is very good. You can see the amount of ways we can make lands. We can do it a lot, and we can just amass the board and stomp to victory. Now, you don't see this in many TATYOVA lists, but I love Vigor. It's a 6/6 with trample. If damage we dealt to another creature, you could prevent that damage, put a 1/1 counter on it for each 1 damage. It just makes them so hard to deal with, and it makes them really big. And when Vigor is put into the grave from anywhere, shuffle it. So as long as they don't get exiled, it's going to be coming back and doing some serious work. And it has trample as well. Now, this is a creature that many people do play as the commander as well. You see Tyrant of Gaia Strait, it's a 5/5. Does cost 6 though, whereas, TATYOVA is a little bit cheaper. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Whenever a land ends the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. So same sort of effects, but you can play extra lands with this. But it does cost a little bit more, but it's definitely worthy. And I've got a nice foil version here, definitely worthy in the 99. Now, Thassa's Oracle is going through your deck. We as many draws as we can, keeping those maximum hand size, and you would all probably know already. This with the Jace Planeswalker is a very good way to win the game. A lot of people hate that, but in Simic, you're going to be playing it if you can. And I've got this lovely full art version there. Next Wincon. Oh, I love Scooty Swarm. Scooty Swarm is just brilliant. Now, the new addition that I've made to my deck is Help the Wincon of Scoot Swarm that you will see as we go through the cards here in a minute. Whenever a land ends the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1. Then if you've got 6 or more, you create a token of this, and it gets out of hand. I've been well over the 300 mark of this, and when you've got 3 opponents, you can literally, even 1/1s, you can just kill them all in the same turn. It's amazing, Scoot Swarm. And I'd like to get a foil version if I can, but at the moment I've got this lovely alternate art. The same can be said for Avenger of Zendikar. The amount of landfall triggers we have is really good. As long as we've got lots of lands on the battlefield already, when this comes down, you make all those 0/1 plants, and this ends the battlefield under your control. You may put a 1/1 counter on each plant you control. So with fetches, we're doing that twice. They can just get really, really big. And as long with Crucible of Worlds, what would make this better, which will be a new addition to the deck, and I haven't put it in yet, I haven't got it in my collection, but it would be the Behemoth. Now, Crater Hoof is a very good card. I've just not picked one up yet. But that and Crucible of Worlds are probably 2 of the cards, and maybe Bergenin are the cards that I would like to add to this deck. But what I take out at the moment, I really, really don't know. Then we have 2 big beaters here. We have Kozilek, Butcher of Truth, and Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. When we're ramping out and we're putting all those lands into play, these 2 are just brilliant. Ulamog is indestructible. Players exiles the top 20 cards when it attacks defending player. Is hilarious. It comes in when you cast it, exiles some permanents. Kozilek can draw your cards, has Annihilated to 4, and gets shuffled back in. And it's a 12/12 for 10. These 2 are at my top end for Sassoon beatdowns. They really, really can get the job done. So now we're going to look at the enchantments in the deck. First of all, Grown Rights of Italmok. This is, I do love this card. Ends the battlefield. Look at the top 4 cards. It's not quite Gaia's Cradle, but it's a very good, cheaper version. It's not a cheap card, but it's definitely a cheaper version than the Gaia's Cradle. And then it will switch over into Italmok, Cradle of the Sun. So you add 1 green mana, and then you add 1 green mana for each creature you control as well. So, with a lot of creatures, a lot of tokens into play, you will be making a lot of mana. Now, will you pay the 1? Of course you will. It's Rhystic Study, one of the best blue enchantments around. Of course, goes in my deck straight away. And this is the foil version of Retreat to Coralhelm that I spoke to you about, that we do all the combos with. Whenever a land is battlefield under your control, choose 1. You may tap or untap target creature, and then you scry 1. And I managed to pick myself up a foil version Last one, 5 mana, Landfall. Let's make some more tokens. It's, you know, this is a very token-heavy deck as well. It's Landfall, tokens, combos. It does a bit of everything. It really does help answer a lot of problems on the board. Ends the battlefield under control. You create a 2/2 green element token. And like I said with the other token generators, fetch lands, anything like that, doing it twice, get twice the tokens, which is nice. So, on to the instants and sorcery. Is it instants and sorceries? Yes, I think this is. Crop rotation. Sacrifice land. We want to get extra lands into play. You have to sack one, search your library for a land card. But when you sack these, like I said, you've got Crucible in there or Ramanop. You'll be able to play these back from the graveyard. There is my Growth Spiral. Lovely Japanese full art version there. And then we go for this beautiful Japanese version, Negate, foil. It's lovely. And then some serious power cards. Force of Will. Pay 1 life, exile a blue card. Then it just costs 0. It's really cool. Force of Will. Pulled this in the pack. You know, no reason to play it in anything other than Commander for me. So I put it straight into this deck. Along with a Fierce Guardianship. If you control a commander, you may cast this spell without paying its mana cost. Counter target non-creature spell. And this was a gift from one of my amazing Patreons, Imperial Buckethead, who wanted to help me out with a deck. Very much, he was very thankful. And I actually, you know, I used this against him in one match we played against each other, and I felt really bad. One of my most pimp cards. Look at this, Counterspell. Pack pulled this one. Counterspell. Just look at that lovely. Is it Exposition or something? I think, I'm not sure. I get mixed up with the two. And then we have a nice foil Brainstorm. We want to be drawing cards. And then we have some tutors. Quarter Calling can be done at instant speed. Convoke is good when you've got the amount of tokens we've got. So you search your library for a creature card with coveted mana cost X or less. Now this is always good if people have been searching this up for the Kraytooth. I don't have that. But, you know, even going to get the Scoot Swarm or anything like that, or the Avengers Azenda card can be good. Because they are part of your win cons. Or maybe you just go and get one of your big beaters, one of your, you know, one of your Eldrazi. Mystical Tutor, searching for instants or sorcery cards. Anything we need. And then the best blue card, the most blue card there is. It's known as Cyclonic Rift. And if we can regurgitate this with like maybe an Eternal Witness, or we just, you know, have ways to get things back, that is what we want to do. Beast Within, another nice bit of removal for 3 mana. And then this lovely Force of Vigor. If it's not your turn, you can exile a green card. It's a bit like the Force of Wills and Force of Negation cards. Destroy up to 2 artifacts or enchantments. That's the instants and sorceries. No, it wasn't the sorceries. See, I told you, I've got so many piles of cards I sorted out. I forgot the sorceries were over here. We've got some more sorceries. More ways to get lands. So Kodamar's Reach. And then I have this absolutely gorgeous card here. Look at this. This Cultivate is absolutely amazing. Foil Japanese. Bit more card draw in Harmonize. As you can see, I bought a lot of these set. I did love the art, the Japanese versions, and just remembering what the cards are. Life from the Loam can help get back the Field of the Dead. Anything like that, return up to 3 target land cards from your graveyard to your hand. You can dredge 3 if you prefer to do. Very strong, powerful card, especially in Landfall decks as well. And then Scapeshift. Sacrifice all those lands, search your library for that many lands, put them onto the battlefield tapped and get all those triggers. So Avenger on there, Scapeshift, TATYOVA, anything on there. Sacking all those lands and then getting a lot more onto the battlefield and just getting those triggers. It's Trigger City. Now, I will leave the full deck list below so you can go and have a look at that. You can see the numbers of lands and everything like that. But this was basically me showing you my updated deck that you'll see the new cards in a minute and showing you what this great commander does. I mean, I love it. Splendid Reclamation, return all land cards from your battlefield tapped, more recursion. And then Green Sun Zenith. Search for that green creature card. Do I put the Kraytooth Behemoth in? Do I go and get myself one? Let me know. But if not, I go and get one of my other types of win cons. Couple of Planeswalkers. There is another one that you'll see in a minute in the upgrades. Chase Wielder, which works well with the Thassa's Oracle. If you draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game. Thassa's Oracle, you scry with that in case, you know, where is it? Let me just get my Thassa's Oracle quickly just to show you. Where are you, Thassa's? There you are. Right. So yeah, Thassa's Oracle with the Jace. When Thassa's Oracle ends the battlefield, look at the top X card. Your lower X is the Devotion. Put one to him into the bottom of the library in random order. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. And you do it with Jace. It's a great combination of cards. And then this lovely foil alternate art version of Ren and 7 that basically just does really well with lands. Put any number of land cards from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. It's just synergy with the deck. And when I pulled that, I was like, it's got to go in there. Look at that art. It's got to go in there. Right, now we're going to have a look at the cards that I've updated. Some will just be art upgrades, and some will be new cards to the deck. First new card to the deck is this lovely foil pack-pulled Besieger Who Endures. Perfect card, can tap for green, doesn't come in tapped. You can discard it, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or non-basic land. Sometimes it can cost one less as well. It's just an amazing, amazing land. This is an upgraded art version from the new set that's come out, the old new Master set. Simic Grove Chamber. I had a basic art land one, and this one is just beautiful. Didn't go the foil version. It was about 7 times the price, and still thought this was a really good, nice art version. It didn't have to be foil. This breeding pool is a proxy from my friend Fatal Ferret. I've obviously got the breeding pool. I had an original one in there, but when he gave me this, I mean, just look at that. So I can put breeding pool in another deck, and I can put this one in there. It's just absolutely gorgeous. He does some amazing work. And this is another one he gave me as well. You can see with a little total MTG there. A little bit of art there. And I do have an island one of them as well. Harrow was in the deck, and this is an upgraded version that I picked up online the other night. No text, full art there, like this. I just thought it was really nice, and obviously a good addition to the deck. Now, Summer Bloom was a new edition, then it got reprinted, but I bought this old version about a month before. You may play up to 3 additional lands this turn. Now, when you've got this on the field, and maybe one of your other, put multiple lands in as well, it can be hideous. So if you've got a heavy, strong land hand, just get ready for those triggers to happen. And Summer Bloom is a really good addition to the deck. Oracle Mold Dire is a new edition as well. Japanese version, playing extra lands is good. And it's a 2/2 for 4 mana. And picked up the old Japanese version. Sylvan Library, one new card that I picked up. I picked up the green, what was it, green? The mono green set. I can't remember what it was called, but it had like the Soul Ring in and a few other bits. Sylvan Library was one of them, and you'll see Worldly Tutor as well. Beginning of your draw state, you may draw 2 additional cards. Choose 2 cards in your hand. For each of those cards, pay 4 life. Now, sometimes you'll be able to pay the life if you're ahead on that with TATYOVA because you're gaining life. But even just to see, what's in there and put 2 back is very strong. Now, this is the Artifacts Hater. Now, we only run Soul Ring and the Simic. Signet Collector Oof has done some serious work for me in games. Activated ability of artifacts can't be activated. It can completely shut down some decks. It is an amazing card. I absolutely love it. And, even after just one game with it, check out that gameplay video. Like I said, it was amazing. Endurance, gorgeous card. Pack pulled, Endurance, just gorgeous card. Absolutely love the foiling on this one. Flash Reach. Ends the battlefield up to 1 target player, puts all cards. It's great against anyone playing graveyard decks. You can flash this in. You get a 3/4 for 3 mana with Reach. You can evoke it if you want. Exile the green card from your hand. Play it for naught. It's just amazing. Endurance is a smashing card. Worldly Tutor, new edition as well. Like I said, I did get this from that mono green pack. You know what I mean. It is search your life for a creature card, reveal that card, shuffle your life, put that card on top. If we can play this potentially at the end of turn, then drop a land and play it with TATYOVA, we can go and get that. New Planeswalker, Oko. Turning anything into Elks is good. It's strong. There's a reason why it was banned in Standard, and it's just really good as a 3 mana Planeswalker. Getting this down early can really do some work, creating food tokens. Just turning artifacts, soul rings, anything like that into 3/3 Elks. But beware, they will attack you. Eternal Witness, this is just a pimp upgrade from the new Masters 22. Ends of battle, may return target card from your graveyard, so great recursion, staple in Commander. And I picked up this nice fancy version. Now, the new part of the deck is these 3 cards here. So, Temple Mastery, Temporal Trespass, and Time Warp. Now, taking extra turns. I didn't have any extra turns in my deck. I felt like it was really, slow, and I wanted a way to close out a game. And after a game, it does the job. It really does. Now, you want to be playing these, potentially towards the end if you can. The idea is to get your Scoot Swarm in there, make loads, and then have another turn, make loads, attack with some, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there with 300 or 400 Scooties, and it is just enough one tap. But you play these at the end, play these right. If you have to play it mid-game or early game, and whatever you do, you think you can get something down, or you need to do it to help yourself, then do it. But the idea of this is to have your win con ready, and then you just stop everyone else from playing. You have your 0 mana counter spells potentially backing you up, and then taking those extra turns and doing what Dirty Simic does, and not letting anyone do what they want to do, and then just attack for the win. But using these is nice. We play these in a casual game, and it depends on how you use the cards sometimes, not just how powerful you are, it's how you use the cards. And I use this to win the game. And yeah, they're just real cool additions. I've got this lovely art one here, and then these two were just sitting in my folders. And they were decided that's the way I wanted to change the deck, and it definitely worked for the better. So, quite a long video, but going through all these cards, I hope you've enjoyed it and stayed to the end to see that. Please let me know. This won the poll. I'm very happy that this type of different video won the poll. They're all very close though, so don't worry if you voted for something different. You'll get all the videos anyway, but this is just the one that I said what you want to see first. So TATYOVA, Benthic Druid. This is my favourite commander, and if you want to see lots more commanders, I've got 37 different decks behind me. Some will be like upgraded precons or anything like that, and just some, they won't all look as gorgeous as this, but some real good fun decks. So if you want to see some more, just let me know. Anyway, you lot take care. Smash the like if you can. It really do appreciate it. Thanks to my Patreons. I appreciate all that extra support that you give me, and I would love to all become part of the Total MTG Patreon army for as little as $1. It really does help out. So go and check that out. Links in the description. And let me know that you do. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you on the next video.